Elul, and it marks the of a famous rabbi who passed away in the year 1941. His name was Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit. Zecher Tzadik Libracha. He was born in the English year 1867. Tafresh Chav Zayin, naturally passed away in the year 1941. We're talking about, from the time of recording, about 84 years ago. He came from great auspices. His father's name was Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit. I believe he's a rabbi that we've spoken about on various occasions before. Harav Moshe he was a prominent rabbi in his day. And the Shitrit family itself had many, many great rabbanim who we've spoken about on various occasions before, which is very, very interesting, which I would recommend everyone to learn about. So I think he was born in the 1867 in an area called Tfil Alat in Morocco. He happened to have been born in. Now, while he was young, he would learn Torah under the auspices of his father, Rabbi Moshe Shitrit. And very interesting. It was, I think he grew up with the families were very, very much connected to the famous Abu Chatzera family, another one of the great rabbinic dynasties of its day. And even when he was at a young age, I think he was close with Rabbi David Abu Chatzera, who we've spoken about on various occasions before. Remember, Rabbi David Abu Chatzera was one of the great rabbis of his time, a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. He actually lived between the years 1866 to 1919, so very much was around the same time period, let's just say, in of itself, as the Rav Shitrit. He was the, let's say, the spiritual leader of Tiferet of the Jewish community over there, and the author of great Torah works in of itself. He only lived, unfortunately, he was murdered, and he was only about 53 years of age at the time he passed away. So we've spoken about that on various occasions before, but he was very close. I think there was a close, very, very much closeness to them. And I think Rabbi David Abu Chatzera happened to have been grandson of Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzera, the Abi Yaakov, very, very famous rabbi. But that's very interesting. We've recorded that many of these great rabbis before. And that's very interesting. Remember, Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzera was arguably one of the most famous Moroccan rabbis, especially during the 19th century. And so we've spoken much about him. Now, I believe it was around the year, I think in 1881, that's naturally Hebrew, a tough Resh Mem Aleph. Sadly, I believe his mother passed away. So remember, at that point in time, he was only about 14 years of age. Her name was Rabbanit Mas'uda. And after a year, I believe it's over, I think his father got married to another woman at that point in time. And I think at that stage, maybe shortly afterwards, Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit will continue pursuing his Torah studies, if I'm not mistaken, and would actually embark on a journey to Eretz Yisrael at that point in time. So that was very important, let's just say, and he would go to Eretz Yisrael, and I think he would be with various other people that actually immigrated to the land of Israel. And there was a journey, I think the journey to Eretz Yisrael itself happened to have been by foot through a desert to get to the land of Israel. So you see the Mesirat Nefesh and the yearning to actually come. It was actually absolutely phenomenal at that stage in time. So I'm just reading the Haimi website at the moment. I'll say in Hebrew and then I'll translate in English what it says over here. Apparently he encountered various different rabbinic emissaries that actually came from Eretz Yisrael. I think the rabbinic emissary would actually join them, try to join them inside the journey. Also, there was a yearning to learn the Torah of the land of Israel. It states over how Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit would actually join together this journey. I think they would reach Libya in the city of Tripoli over there. Alu al Oniya lenamal Marseille. I believe they would actually embark, try and make the traveling through a boat. Sham lamad chacham Machlouf Shitrit Tzarfatit. Apparently, he learned French at that stage in time while he was in boat. On Marseille, Alu al Oniya lenamel Yafos. I think he would actually travel to France, to Marseille, and then from there would actually embark from the ports to Jaffa, respectively. Now it's interesting. In the come of the 1885, Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit would end up in Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Israel. He would live in the holy city of Tiberias. Tiberias, one of the four holy cities of Israel, along with Tzfat, Hebron, and Jerusalem, respectively. And he would learn in Yeshiva of Rav David Abo. Remember, we've spoken about the famous Abo family on various occasions, for the rabbinic dynasty also, I believe. and I think he'd be appointed to a position. Hu nimna al bnei chavruto shel Chacham David Abu ubetocham Chacham Yaakov Chai Zirichen, Chacham Moshe Meir Chai Eliakim, Chacham Yaakov Vakinin. So he was very close to other great rabbis working along with them, including famous Rabbi Yaakov Chai Zirichen, another rabbi who spoke about. He was actually one of the first rabbis who spoke about way earlier on in the series, maybe over 3 years ago. I think also Rabbi Moshe Meir Chai Eliakim, another great rabbi, Rabbi Yaakov Vaknin, and I think there was famous Rabbi Moshe Sochri, there was close connection to, and I think he was a head of Jewish court of Damascus, respectively, and very much prominent position it was. And I think after months, I think it was in the year 1886, approximately, Rabbi Machlouf would get married to his wife, Rabbanit Miriam, or Marat Miriam. She happens to have been the daughter of Rab Masud Dahan, very interesting enough in of itself, and would be prominent position. It was, respectively, I think he was very close to Rabbi Yosef Chaim Abulafia. And remember that Abulafia family were a famous rabbinic dynasty, especially in Tiberias and various holy cities of Israel, and very much would be part of this great Rabbonim at that point in time. I think he would actually be head of a Beit Knesset, a synagogue, which was under the name of Rav David Kobi. Remember, we've spoken about the Kobi family also. Now, I think it was come with the year 1900. He, together with his friend Rabbi Yaakov Chai Zirihen, they will found, I believe, and also Rabbi Aaron Halevi Skali, Yeshivat Keter HaTorah. Now, we've spoken about Yeshivat Keter HaTorah on various occasions before in this series, and they would have like many great Rabbonim that would actually learn in this prestigious yeshiva, respectively, and how important Torah to Eretz Yisrael is. And there weren't that many yeshivot at that specific day of yesteryear. So Yeshivat Keter HaTorah, without doubt, was definitely one of the, let's just say, the famous ones in of itself, something that we've spoken about on various occasions before. And I would recommend everyone to, I think it's now based in somewhere else. There's other yeshivot, I think, under that specific name. And that was definitely, I believe, the famous yeshiva at that point in time, which is also very interesting. So I think this yeshiva itself, there isn't much actually found I can't see online within regards to it, but it was definitely a famous yeshiva in of its day. Now, I think, come with the year 1914, I think that was the stage of time when there was a breakout of the First World War, and times were tough internationally for everyone. It was, and distributions of funds, let's just say, dwindled, and obviously economic situation for the Jewish community in Tiberias was shaken because of this. Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit took upon himself with regards to the burden of distributing funds to Talmidim of the Beit Midrash. He was appointed a guardian of assets of families who were forced to leave the city due to the war. There was a plight at that point in time, and Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit decided to leave the land of Israel as a rabbinic emissary. It's reported over he would actually sail and travel to Benghazi, but I think his boat was diverted from its course and would reach island of Kenya in Greece, from where I think eventually he would end up in Izmir. From Izmir he would go to Alexandria, and then would eventually return to Eretz Yisrael, to the land of Israel. And I don't think he was able to, it wasn't the most successful trip for what he actually turned out, for why he actually set out to go. I'll actually state what it says over here with regards to his traveling. Chacham Machluf Shitrit החליט לצאת את ארץ ישראל כשליח דרבנן. הוא הפליג בסירת מפרש לבנגזי, אך סירתו הוסתה ממוסלולה, והוא הגיע לאי קניה שביפן. משם עבר לאזמיר, מאזמיר עבר לאלכסנדריה, משם חזרה לארץ ישראל. מפאת הבושה בכל מסורותיו לא הצליח לגייס ידי צורכים של חכמי העיר. This was the Haimi website reads over in Hebrew. And I think the First World War finished. I definitely calmed down. And once again, I think היה ממחדשי הלימוד על ציון התנא רבי מאיר בעל הנס. ובשנת, in the year 1920, he would found Yeshivat Meir Bat Ayin, I believe, which was close to Zion, if I'm not mistaken. Very interesting enough. I think we've spoken about this place on various occasions also before. I think it's based in Tiberias I believe it's still standing today, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have to double check on that. So I think it's the same institution. And it's interesting, Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit, he would have many great students and really spread Torah teachings to say the throngs of the public. He would work as a Moreh Tzedek inside the Tiberias city, the holy city itself. Come with the year Tafresh Peitet, 1929. He was appointed a Dayan, a judge in the Beit Din of his friend, I think of the rabbi of the city of Tiberias, Rabbi Yaakov Chai Zrihan. And I think they would learn Torah Asod inside the Beit Knesset called Etz Chaim over there. And along with the rabbi of the city, Rabbi Yaakov Chai Zrihan, there would be joining together with regards to Torah. There was close connection also with other great rabbis, including Rabbi Eliyahu Yaluz, another rabbi we've spoken about before. Also Rabbi Moshe Kaliras, another great rabbi. He was a rabbi, I think, Ashkenazi community rabbi of Tiberias. And there was various great Kabbalists that actually came even from Jerusalem, including, and there was great other rabbis, Rabbi Nissim Nachum, for example, Rabbi Chaim Shaul Dwerke Kohen, who I think was a Rosh Yeshiva of the famous Yeshivat, Rehovot Nahar, also which we've spoken about on various occasions before. Now, I believe he passed away on the 8th of Elul in the year 1941, and he was buried, I believe, in Tiberias. Now, he would author a Torah colossal work on the Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, the Tanakh, respectively, and very interesting enough. Yes, that's very interesting. I think a Torah work of his Torah Shel Shem that would come out in the year 2020 after he passed away, way after he passed away, actually. And B'Sefer Ohalei Shem, B'nei Mishpachto, through his family, which is also very interesting. Let's explore a few of the teachings of his inside the book, the Ohalei Shem, which was printed in 2020. One, just using notes here of the Haimi website, it states of him, Melamed, Shemo Oto Habal Torah, Shu Lishma, Naaseh Lo Malvush. Another teaching, Melamed, Shekeban Sheshavim B'tshuva, Chozrim Liikra B'Shem Yisrael. This is once again from the book, which was printed in 2020. And Melamed, Ikahu Hashem, Shekaru Oto Aviv Imo B'Sha'a Halga. B'Sha'at Halida. Very interesting, important topic. Kuf Samach Bet is printed in that specific page. Another teaching, which actually comes from Melamed, Yato Oni Pishutakava, Gorem Shashem Mitapech Merachamim Ladin. That's another teaching. Another teaching, Melamed, Shizikahu Hashem Shishiro Halbin Kulo Zehor Ashu Kasher Betahor. This comes from Peish Reish Tet, I believe, also once again inside this Torah important book of his. And last teaching, Melamed, Sha'olel Eretz Yisrael B'zman hazeh, Parnasato B'dochek Gadol. This is another bit of wisdom, let's just say, I think coming from page Shin. So this book was printed in Jerusalem in its state. We've spoken about it on various occasions before. I recommend everyone to learn more about it and how important it actually is. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. Today we're speaking about Rabbi Machlouf Shitrit, a very great Moroccan rabbi in his time, especially towards the end of the 1800s, earlier to early mid parts, let's just say, of 1900s, 20th century, respectively. Now, if you descend from any of the rabbis we are speaking about, friends, please send me an email. I would love to hear more information. Also, if you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these videos, please share these videos, friends, to other people, and let's help grow the community further and further. Now, the good news is, further, we are approaching nearly 7,500 subscribers, which is absolutely phenomenal, which a phenomenal achievement over here at the moment. And we're going from strength to strength at the moment. We don't just record videos on the great rabbis of yesteryear. We're trying to explore the various different yeshivot across Eretz Yisrael or across the Jewish Sephardic world. We are trying to explore who's the great rabbis of nowadays. We record a special series with various different rabbis over there, respectively, or here of modern day. We try and get some inspiration and how important actually it is. On this series also we'll do videos on the daily page of the Daf Yomi, which also is very, very important. And there's so much more, let's just say, respectively. So please, friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Wish you well, blessings from Israel, and thanks.